In December 2022, biology teacher and former Green Beret Dan Forrester fails to get a job at a prestigious research center. During the broadcast of the World Cup, soldiers from the year 2051 arrive to warn that humanity is on the brink of extinction due to a war with alien invaders referred to as the White Spikes. The White Spikes will arrive in November 2048 and kill the majority of humanity within 3 years after their arrival. In response, the world's militaries are sent into the future via a wormhole device called the JumpLink, but fewer than 30% survive their 7-day deployment, prompting an international draft. Dan receives a notice that he has been drafted, and when he tells his wife, she says they should run and talk Stan into visiting his estranged father, a mechanical engineer, for help in removing the draft band attached to his arm. Dan's father left him and his mother after he returned from the Vietnam War because he felt it was dangerous to remain with them, but Dan says he does not want his help and calls him a coward, then leaves. Dan reports to basic training with other draftees where they are briefed from future soldiers about the White Spikes. Dan deduces with fellow draftee Charlie that to prevent a paradox, those drafted have already died before the war starts and those who have come from the future haven't been born yet. The draftees are sent forward in time to a battlefield on Miami Beach, but few survive, having accidentally been dropped high above the city. Romeo commander, Colonel Forrester, orders the draftees to rescue nearby lab personnel before the area is sterilized. They discover the lab personnel are already dead but recover their research. Dan radios command about the situation, and he is told that no help will be sent to rescue the stranded troops. Nearly everyone dies, except for Charlie, Dan, and Dorian, a battle-hardened soldier on his 3rd deployment to the future. The survivors wake up in a military encampment in the Dominican Republic. Dan reports to Colonel Forrester, who turns out to be his grown daughter Miri. She requests he accompany her on a mission to capture a female white spike, which are rarer than the males typically encountered. They trap and cage the female, only to have hundreds of males descend on their position. As the helicopter with the female lifts off, Dan and Miri escape to a beach and radio for rescue. Miri reveals to Dan that, dissatisfied with his life after losing the job, he abandons his family and dies in a car crash in 2030. Dan, Miri, and the female White Spike are transported to a fortified oil rig close to Port Nelson, where the JumpLink is located. Miri creates a toxin that can kill the White Spikes. The White Spikes attack and overrun the base to free the female, and Miri sacrifices herself to send him back to the past. Although he returns to 2023 with the toxin, the JumpLink is destroyed. The world interprets the JumpLink's destruction as a sign that the future war is lost. While Dan brainstorms with his wife, Emmy, she deduces that the White Spikes did not arrive in 2048 but came much earlier. Dan consults with Charlie and Martin, a high school student with an interest in volcanoes, and they theorize that the White Spikes have been on Earth since at least the Millennium eruption in the year 946, and global warming caused them to thaw out and emerge from under the ice caps. After the United States Defense Secretary declines to use military resources to prove the theory, Dan leads a mission to Russia with Charlie, Dorian, a few surviving future soldiers, and his estranged father James to take matters into their own hands. The team finds a crashed alien ship at the Academy of Sciences glacier on Komsomolets Island. They debate telling the world about the problem, but decide to end the threat themselves. Once inside, they realize that the White Spikes are not the aliens themselves, but rather bioengineered organisms possibly used as a planet-clearing weapon or cattle by another alien race. The team injects 5 of the dormant White Spikes with the toxin. This kills the injected ones but wakes the rest of the colony, and most of the team is killed. Dorian, terminally ill with cancer and wanting to die on his own terms, stays behind to blow up the ship with C4, and the explosion kills all but one of the White Spikes. Dan and his father hunt and kill the one female that had escaped, leaving them and Charlie as the team's only survivors. Content knowing that the war is averted and humanity is saved, Dan brings James home to meet his wife and daughter, determined not to make the same mistakes that Miri had warned him about from her future.